Haverford Township's pension plan is short by $19.3 million. Join us today for the issue of the week, a conversation with Pennsylvania Auditor General Eugene DePasquale. So I'm meeting today with Auditor General of Pennsylvania, Eugene DePasquale, and he's been kind us. We're here in a picnic on the hottest day of the summer, sweating like crazy, but we're talking about a very important issue. So you, in January, right, you published a report talking about the underfunded pension plans all across the state. Right. Several hundred municipalities are in pretty they're pretty far behind. Right. And Haverford Township, I was shocked to see, is on the top 25 of absolute dollars they're behind, over $19 million. Now, most people, don't know that, and they don't know what the implication of that is. So I'm hoping you can basically educate me a little bit on what this means for Haverford Township.
Sure, absolutely. As the Auditor General, we audit all the municipal pension plans in Pennsylvania. Yeah. And what we found is, over the course of my tenure, that we have about $8 billion statewide that is the unfunded liability.
Right.
People talk about the state pensions. They rarely focus on the municipal pension. A big chunk of that total dollar amount is Pittsburgh and Philly. Okay. But there are a whole bunch of other smaller municipalities throughout the state, Haverford being one, that we consider in very bad shape from the funding of their pension level.
Right.
When you talk about the 19 million, people say, okay, what does that mean to me?
Right.
That is an obligation that is going to have to get paid.
It has to be paid. It's not optional. It's in a contract.
Right. You can have a debate about future employees, but that $19 million is going to have to get paid. Mm-hmm. So, because of a lack of proper funding in the past, and that could have been done through a whole host of reasons, not putting enough money in, having rosy expectations of return, a whole host of reasons, Haverford is in that position now.
Okay.
So unless that is fixed, you will see one of two things. Remember now, that $19 million has come during an unprecedented stock market boom.
Right.
Which means that
it's missed out.
They've either hasn't been as good as they thought it was going to be, or they've missed out on the boom. Either way, they're in trouble. So if there's a downturn in the stock market, it could get even worse. So what you're looking at is, unless that gets fixed, you're going to see either tax increases, layoffs of public safety personnel, because the number one job of local government in Pennsylvania is public safety, or some combination. Now, I've yet to find any constituent that wants higher property taxes or layoffs to public safety.
Absolutely. And just to be clear then, so this $19 million has to be paid. It's not optional. And basically, it's $19 million that's missing that would be invested otherwise right now. So I'm not an accountant, so correct me if I'm wrong, but for every month that goes by that money isn't there, of course, it's not growing as part of that pension plan. So
yeah, well, there's two ways to look at that. One is, the $19 million will probably not be due tomorrow, meaning that is basically using an assumption on who retires and when they retire.
Right.
But because they're behind, they're going to have to put more money into it.
I got you.
And if they don't do that, they'll fall even further behind.
Right.
But that more money that they have to put into it then is money that's not invested in, fixing the roads, not invested in our parks, or potentially in hiring more police.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. This is really an important issue. Most people have no idea it's on the radar. It feels a bit like a financial ticking time bomb that's sitting out there across the state, but obviously right here in our own township here in Haverford Township. So very much appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.